Okay, hopefully that's worked. I'll know in a few seconds. Hopefully it's worked, as I say. I'm just gonna hope it's worked. Yep, looks like it has. Okay. Welcome in, everyone. We are doing something a little bit different today. We're here on Loma, Montana. This is not one that I'm playing on. This is a demo map. And what that means is... Actually, something interesting is I do this with a lot of games that I, like, series that I'm playing. I'll have, like, 2 or 3 copies of the map. One that I'm actually playing and recording on. Another one that I, like, set up thumbnails on, and then maybe something else if I just want to play, like, for myself or try things out, do them a little differently, whatever, do some research and whatnot. That's what this is. This is not my research map. This is... I say thumbnail. This is for the intro. I want to step things up quite a bit. Cinematography? I don't even know how to say that word. Cinematographically? Cinematographically? I don't know. That's a lot of words I'm trying to jumble up into one. I want to make the cinematics quite a bit more impressive on this series than my last few. Kind of feel like I was just playing the game and recording, and that's fine, and that was really fun for a time, but I've been interested in with editing and whatnot lately. Not that I love editing, I definitely don't, but I want to try and put some more effort into it, so that's what we're doing on this map. Making an introduction. At the start of every video, I'm going to play maybe a 30-second to a minute little clip of all the different things on the map. So, like, we'll have some nice cinematic shots of a harvester on the field, whatever, you know, slow rollers like that. And then we can show swathing, planting. I've got a whole list of things. Matter of fact, I need to go and get that so I can check them off as I'm doing it. But I want to do some cultivation with my big bud here. So that's what we've got set up here. I think this is canola stubble. Looks like yes. Let's see here. I want to do some seeding of canola with these two beasts. 1167 Fent and the Case IH 715 quad track. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing on the field directly in front of us. Field 8. I want to put like wheat stubble down. If you thought I was doing this all freehand, you're mad. This is not that kind of channel. I don't want to kill myself in terms of farming 11 hours just set up to start filming an introduction. That's not at all what I want to do here. So I'm just going to use the easy dev controls to set up the field. And that's what we're doing. Let's see here. Buy farmland, yes, confirm and close. Okay, so there should be wheat stubble now. And it's been harvested. No fertilizer. So instead of actually getting in here, planting a field of wheat, harvesting the field of wheat, and then making it look like this, I'm not crazy. I'm gonna use easy dev controls to set that up. Now, that works to an extent, but you see I'm harvesting this field, so I'm actually doing that. That's just because you can't get this straw in here. And one of the things I want to use is this lovely Vermeer, self-propelled Vermeer round baler. That is definitely going to be a part of my intro. So I need to lay down straw swaths on the field. And, you know, also, obviously I want to harvest. Like, I want to have cinematic shots of me harvesting in the intro, so I have to be harvesting for that. Jason says, bro, you didn't tell me you were streaming. How's it going? Go from here. It's going well. Yep, I'm getting back to it. I didn't know I was streaming until yesterday. So yeah, we will be using a Vermeer baler. I'm curious, have you seen any of these? They are pretty cool. They look a lot bigger in person than they do in the game. Pretty neat. So as I was saying, I have to harvest and leave the straw so that I can bale it later on to get the shots of that. This is all for an introduction on the channel on one of my series. This is not as part of a series. I'm just setting up an introduction for a series. He said, "You know what? My dad is building an app for one. That's awesome. Like a mobile app or something for the in-cab monitors." Like something for these computer screens in here, or something for an actual phone, because that's dope if it's for a phone. So anyways, I can have workers harvesting. Mobile app, it's called Forge Commander. That's awesome. I kind of want to download that when it's ready and see how it is. Obviously, I don't have that piece of equipment. That would still be cool. Okay, let's see. I wanted this. Okay, that's ready there. I don't love the field of view being so low. You can see it kind of fades out into nothingness after like 20 feet in front of the tractor. It looks pretty bad. Okay, so I've got this field set up. So, some of the shots will just be like a walking shot in front of the planters or like in between the planters or something. Some of the shots will be actually like up in the air as if it was a drone flying around. Some of them will be kind of stagnant, like there's a camera mounted on the piece of equipment. Obviously there won't be the audio part of it, but like, you know, just something like this wouldn't be bad. I don't know. Others of the shots might be in cab. I don't know. I don't have like a detailed list of all the shots I want to get. I just kind of have some basic ideas. Okay, this field definitely needs set up. Which one is this? Where am I? 13. Yes, so 13. Yeah, it looks like it's on it. Set field ground. We're gonna go with. Let's do corn stubble. Do they do corn in Montana? No, they don't. Let's do grass. I want this to be like. Let's see if I can do grass here. Grass. Ready to harvest 1 or 2. Let's do ready to harvest 1. Ground layer none. Weeds none. Doesn't need rolling. I do want to buy it so I can have it for free, preferably. Yep. Okay, sweet. That looks decent. But I may want it to be a little darker color. That's a little bright for me. Oops. Let's try ready to harvest 2 and see how that goes. I thought the grass was different on this map. How goes things a week after the major event in your life? Hasn't been a week yet, number 1, but number 2, it's going pretty well. Did get married on Saturday, so that's cool, I guess. That's where I've been busy with the last week or so. Setting up for that, final preparations and whatnot. Okay, these are almost full. And for the time being, I'm just emptying them so that they can keep going because I don't actually need the grain because this is not part of a series or anything. Close enough to a week? Yeah, it is. I'm just giving you a hard time. This field is huge. It is potentially the biggest on the map. I think it is the biggest. Looks like it. Okay, I don't want to do too many things that I'm forgetting what I'm doing. I was trying to do this like just on my own, but that did not work. I spent like an hour just to drive all my equipment to the fields and get them ready and stuff. Let's see, this needs filled up. So I decided to do a live stream. Unit 2 with solid fertilizer, Unit 1 with seeds, and then let's hop over to the Fent and do the same. Okay, do they both have canola? No. There we go, now they both have canola. I just need to decide what I'm doing. With this one, I definitely want to have a fair bit harvested. Jason says, you want to detail my truck next week sometime if you ain't busy. Are you coming here, or do I have to go up there? Because that'll make a difference. All my stuff is here too, and my car can't really get it up there very well. Oops, I punched my desk. I would not recommend doing that, it kind of hurts. Auto width. A plus direction, set A. Call this, I don't know, plow. Plowing. Let's make sure my lines are showing so I can see where it wants me to go. Oh, do I have field stones turned on? Gross. Field stone off, lime or plow required off. Lime required off, weeds off. I do want to spray weeds, but I can just add them in manually. Crop destruction. Do I want crop destruction? No, I don't think so. Not for the intro. Okay, let's just leave all that as it is. Okay. I don't know why this thing thinks its width is only like 3 inches wide, because it's much wider than 3 inches. I did the auto width, and apparently that was not a good thing to do. So I might have to do this a bit freehand. But it does look pretty dope. Trying to catch some cinematics here. I don't know if I want this to be like in an open field like it is, or if I want it to be like one side of it's plowed, like on the right side of the tractor it's all plowed and it's just working its way across the field. The good news is I can just do it with both. So let me just hop to my streaming service and we'll start recording. Fortunately, I can't use my built-in streaming stuff, so I can't record on my computer and let's see here. I can't record and stream at the same time on my built-in recording services. So I have to use the OBS, whatever I use for streaming. Okay, let's try and keep a steady speed all the way across. Sorry if it's loud. That looks pretty dope. And then you can try something like... That doesn't actually look the best. I can try like coming way out here and have it just roll right on by me. Oh wait, it's not on a worker. Haha. Oops. So I have to be in the tractor for this one. Let's turn my computer down. This is really loud. Jason says, I was going to come down there, but I forgot I work on Saturday. I might work Saturday as well. I don't know if it's available yet or not. Try camera out, see how that works. I don't know if that's going to work. Let me think. I'll be in... Well, I'll just text you. I will be up there next Wednesday. But, I'll be not in your area. Let me just unfold that one. Nope, I do want it folded. I am... Whoops. Abusing my tractor a little bit, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll potentially be in your state at least a couple hours away. Probably only an hour and a half. On the 28th. And maybe even all day. Like, we'll be leaving pretty early morning for an appointment down there. Or up there, I suppose. None of this has anything to do with the stream, so I'll probably just text you later. Okay, so we'll try and line up, I guess, that exhaust pipe kind of on the edge of the grass. This is a super wide plow, dude. This thing's huge. Oh, it's got some issues, apparently. I don't think I can use that in my actual series, then, if it's going to kick back like that. I don't like that. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Let's check in on the harvesters. I think I turned my recording off. Okay, this one thinks he's done, but he's not. Excuse me, because he's silly. Or stupid, take your pick. Let me just share this with a couple people I know. See if I can bug them to watch. Mission success. So once I finish this little area up here, I'm going to go down to that other spot down there with this harvester, and the other one will be done as well soon. So we can get them both working on there. And most of these jobs I can have workers doing, but some of them need to have me in the tractor doing them. Like baling is definitely one of those. You can't bale with a worker. Really hope that's fixed for FS25. Which reminds me, I need to pre-order that before I forget. Okay, so we'll just kick this guy off here. And hire up a worker. And this guy will be done soon. And I can move him over as well. Which side is he going to be on? Let's just see. I don't know which side that is. Okay, it'll be this side on his left. So we'll just run down the edge of the field on the far side and work its way up. Technically, I don't need this to all be done when I'm baling. I would just like it to all be done when I'm baling. Bro, I definitely turned that back on. That's annoying. Almost to the end of the rope. I'll flip around, as I already said. But yeah, I already have episode 1 done for this series, like fully recorded and everything. I just need the intro. Definitely could have put it out, but I wanted it to be, as I say, I want to put in a little bit more effort, so I definitely wanted to wait until I had the intro done for it instead of just putting it out because I can. And like I'm toying with, because I've always like kind of felt pressure to put out, excuse me, put out videos on a schedule or whatever. Not that I held to a schedule. I mean, if you just look back through the episodes I put out, well, I guess I unlisted most of them. If you just look back at all the episodes that were listed, I mean, there were times I'd take a week or two between videos just because, like, I have other things to do in life than sit at a computer and farm virtually. Even though I love doing it, there's other things that vie for my attention first. It would be nice to be able to do this as a job, but that is not practical at all. I would have to lower my lifestyle quite a bit, because I don't make anything from this channel, except a smile on my face sometimes when videos do well, which is nice. All that to say, I used to, and still kind of feel like I should put out 2 or 3 videos a week. And I feel like that feels good when I can do that, when I have the time for it, but I kind of want to put in more effort, even though that means less videos. So if it takes, like I've been working on this video for weeks. I've had it recorded probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. I edited the video and then lost my editing software because the trial ran out or whatever. So I used a different software to edit it, which was free. And then, yeah, I got it done. Super excited. Wanted to put out the video, but I felt like I should do an introduction because that's just, you know, I don't want to just do it because it takes more effort, but it does better, like it looks better. That looks pretty cool. Dang, that's a shot. Let me try and snag that for us. Start the recording. And let's cruise it. Just trying to get some cinematic shots for an intro for a new video series. If you're new. I'm trying to do many different things with many different equipment. Or lots of different equipment. I don't think that many worked there grammatically. So we're doing plowing, planting, tillage, harvesting, spraying, swathing, everything you can think of, except for like maybe working with slurry or manure. We're doing like everything. That might be good enough for plowing. I'm going to turn that off, and we'll call that there. Stop recording. I almost pressed the stop streaming button. I don't want to do that. Okay, so we still need to do, obviously, the high-speed disking, some deep tillage. I want to, like, unload with the grain carts as well. Which I suppose I could do very soon. I want to swath. I don't think I'll use the pickup header, though. I'll just swath the crop down. I've got a nice big sprayer to use, some planters, some seeders. Let me go and get my list. It'll take me like 30 seconds, I promise. Okay, I'm back, and I realized I literally left that on the most boring tractor ever. It's just sitting here. I could have had it on at least a harvester, so something was happening while I was gone. But yeah, let's just read off the list. I've got plow, high-speed disking, cultivation, deep cultivation that is, planting on the seed bed, seeding on stubble, spraying, swathing, harvesting, and carting, baling with the Vermeer baler. So all of the things that you can do on a farm, essentially, I want to do. That makes sense. I think it does. Okay, speaking of carting, I'm gonna go and do that. I think this is a pretty cool, like, behind-the-scenes look at the intro. Hopefully it turns out well. I think it will. I'm putting in effort, so it should. I mean, that's the hope. I don't know if that shot deserves to be in, something like that. Just panning across high speed on the open field. I don't think so. I'm not, like, seeding or anything. Anyways, this harvester all the way down at the end of the field where I'm going is going to be heading up my way with the pipe out, so we'll be catching some rollers there. I'll set the cruise, set my direction, and try and get some shots of it. And I've just realized I don't have any trucking stuff. I don't need to, though. That's not super interesting, I don't think. But I could also do, like, some drone shots of, like, just the map and interesting spots on the map as well. I don't have those written down. I would say I need to look over my footage to make sure it looks good. But I've probably finished harvest and plowing. Baling is probably going to be the most time intensive for this. I mean, technically this harvesting is taking a while, but, you know, it's fine. Okay, let's set our cruise down to about 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, 6 miles an hour. Whip it around. I'm gonna turn off my HUD, start the recording, and then we'll see what we can do with making something look fancy. Whoops. Come on now. Start the recording. Okay. Gotta think about what I want to do. Alright. We're just gonna sit about there in the middle. That's a little fast, isn't it? I'm not loving that. Maybe something like that. Should have some movement though, shouldn't it? That wasn't terrible. That's too fast. That's not bad. That might be able to be used. Could do something like that, maybe. Or just like... just a pan. Or, not a pan, but a still shot. That's not bad. I like that. Okay, let's turn on our heads-up display again. And just stop. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. Next. I mean, it might be cool to have all the equipment kind of in a centralized area and just walk around. As well, I don't know. Let's take the... Should I take the Fent around on a perimeter lap? Let's see how the field shaping is. Where are we? This one. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Fent. And I'm going to drop the cruise down to like 8. But I'll speed it up once we actually get planting, because this thing can do... I mean, realistically, you'd only be doing like 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 miles an hour in real life, but in the game this can do 11. That's something I wish they would fix. Like, I don't know how you would fix that, but it's kind of annoying with a tractor that can go 11 miles an hour planting with a giant thing like this. Like, I'm flying. This is way too fast. But it's so tempting if I'm doing a field and it's taking forever to just speed up to 11. Like, this is so much better and manageable, even though it's still unrealistically fast. But I don't want to go like 4 miles an hour, because that's just too slow. It feels too slow. So we'll just do a perimeter lap with this. And then that's definitely something I want both of these working in tandem, I think. Like, we'll have them going like this way, up and down the field, length, or not lengthwise, but like along the diagonal, because it's a diagonally shaped field. Oh, I need to empty the harvester, my bad. Let's just empty them both so they can go for a while and I don't get any annoying messages. Come on now. There we go. Okay. So, I suppose I can be done with harvesting and carting. I feel like I got a couple good shots of both. So, we could just cross that out on my list here. Plowing is probably pretty good, but I'm not going to cross it off yet. I want to check out that last shot I did to see if that looks good, because I feel like that looked really good in game on the tractor's part, but I didn't even check and see if the plow was like visible, because I want it to be clear what I'm doing. I don't want to just be walking on the field, or, you know, driving on a field with nothing behind me. Okay, we got to do high-speed disking, deep cultivation, plant on seed bed. Right now we're seeding on stubble. I'll have some weeds grow up and then spray them off or something like that. I'll swath, and then I need to bale. The baling's going to take a while. We've only got a couple of hours today. Probably only an hour and a half now. Hopefully you can't hear that I'm munching on some crackers. Alright, let's see how good I can turn with a 2-track tractor. Ooh, that's not too bad, wow. You play a game for 2,000 hours, it's almost like you can do it well, or something like that. Now this one is going to be tough. I don't know if I can do this one. Just because of how close it gets to that field edge right there on the other side. Man, I'm good. Holy cow. If I don't say so myself. Okay, I'll do just one lap with this one. And then I'm going to fire up the 715 and have it run a lap just so I can get kind of familiar with the way those articulated tractors run again, so I'm not doing anything weird when I'm filming. I have to have one of them on a worker, so I'll try and set up the worker to follow the diagonal of the field as best I can. And then I think it'd be kind of cool to have... Sorry, I just hit my book. One of them going on a worker, and depending on which direction I want it to go, I could have it either the worker be in front of me and me be in the other tractor, or other way around. I'm the lead tractor and the worker's behind. I feel like it might look better if the worker's in front, so it's a nice straight line and I can just follow that straight line. but I would rather drive the 715. Plus, it's got the bigger seater on it anyways, so that's, a plus. I've never legitimately gotten these planters starting with, like, minimal equipment, and I definitely want to. Ever since they existed, I was, like, blown away that something could be that large, and I wanted to get one. Of course, I spoil myself and use them on maps like this. I mean, I suppose I shouldn't say spoil myself, but I just buy them. I just insert money into my bank account illegally using mods and then buy them, and it doesn't feel as good. I want to legitimately earn them. But it's not terrible. I mean, I don't have to legitimately earn them to enjoy them. They're still quite fun pieces of equipment to use. Still, for a mod done by Giant Software, they've got some pretty bad physics issues sometimes. This one's really good, but the bigger one, the 100-foot toolbar, it doesn't drive down the road straight. Like, it's all cockeyed and weird. It's like crab walking down the road. It looks goofy. That plow I was using, is it Gregor Bession or whatever is the company? Like, it's got some issues too. For mods done by Giant Software, they're not perfect, which is unfortunate. It is rather silly that I'm putting in hours of work to make a 30-second thumbnail, or not thumbnail, but intro to a video series, but I think it will elevate the feeling of the videos. I think technically intros are bad for video retention, viewer retention, but I want to have an intro. I think it's gonna make the people who want to see something like that even more invested in the video, which is what I want. My voice isn't super exciting or unique. The gameplay isn't super exciting. I mean, I'm farming at 7 miles an hour. But I feel like the cinematics are really where you can run away with it. The cinematics and the editing and whatnot. And those are skills that have to be learned, so bear with me when I do that. Let me check on the harvesters again. Almost full, let's empty them out. And same deal. Okay, how close am I to being all the way around? Dude, I'm like barely halfway. This is taking forever. Realistically, it's not. I've probably been doing it for like 10, 20 minutes. Not even, 10 to 15 minutes. Probably only like 5 to 10. I find that if I don't play Farming Simulator for like even just a week or a few days, like getting back into it, especially if I play like fast-paced games when I'm taking time off, like it feels so slow and the time drags on. Even though like I'm enjoying myself, it's still like feels like I've done a lot more than I have. But if I've played the game day in and day out for weeks on end, like I can just sit there for hours and drive a tractor on a field, which is a little silly, but it is quite fun. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. I took a week off because I had stuff to do. And yeah, I didn't really want to, but also it's a good thing, things that I was doing, so. But yeah, now it's kind of feeling slow, driving around. Almost down at the bottom end of the field with that tight corner. That corner there and all these side corners are probably the only reason I'm not using the 715 with the 100-foot toolbar. This is like 76 or 80 foot. I don't remember which one. So it's not near as big. 23 meters versus 31, I believe, between the two of these. But this one can just turn a lot tighter, so that's why I'm using it. Plus it's a 1167, so it's got a tight turning radius, the tractor itself. I wish I could have a better computer, just for the render distance. Like, this bubble around me looks so bad. You have to, like, creatively make it go away when you're recording. That's actually a pretty neat shot. But yeah, see, it hides the render distance, but if I'm up here, like, you can see it. It's blatantly obvious. You gotta, like, zoom in so it's just out of the edge. I don't know. It is annoying. I know you can turn it way up if you have a proper beast of a computer, but I don't have that. I have a laptop. Someday, you gotta start small. I didn't even start all that small. It's a nice laptop, a really nice laptop. My cracker didn't want to get out of its wrapper. Yeah, I feel like that's about the right size for that corner. Didn't quite overlap, but that 100-foot toolbar would have been pretty tough to maneuver in there. I don't think I can do 2 headland passes on this field with this big of equipment without making it look like the field's 3/4 done. Yeah, I can. I'll just have to record the clip, like, towards the middle of the field, I guess. Just down here, it looks a little tight. I don't know if I'll have any in-cab shots, now that I think about it. Maybe if I'm, like, in a pickup, rolling by a farm, or, like, I've got combines working in the field or something, and just driving by in a pickup, just looking left to right might look good. I was thinking about that today at work. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go like 11 miles an hour. This is an intro, so I don't care as much about realism, but it still feels really fast, and it's kind of hard to control with this tractor, so... You know, it's not great. It's a necessary evil, though. That's a speed increase of 4 miles an hour. That's quite significant. But, like, this tractor with toolbar and seed cart in the back, fully loaded, is like 150,000 plus pounds, so it's not going 11 miles an hour. I'm sorry, it's just not. Like, Downhill you probably could, but then it wouldn't be, like, getting deep enough. Like, you just can't. It just doesn't do that. It wouldn't plant properly. I could be horribly wrong, because I've never run one of these in real life, but I've seen people run them. They never go this fast. I don't know why the game lets you go this fast. Yes, it is a mod, but it's done by Giant Software. And their in-game planters and stuff go 12 miles or 11 miles an hour as well, some of them. High-speed planting is different, but this is like a 7-inch spacing seeding toolbar. Like, it's not a 30-inch planter. Plus, it doesn't matter how big your tractor is. 11 miles an hour in the field feels quick. Unless you're like crazy about your tillage and rolling it and whatnot to make it smooth, it's bumpy. Alright, I'm gonna get this done, peel off, and then we'll grab the 715 and get it going. Lift up toolbar, shut her down, and my harvesters are full because of course they are. Empty y'all. And then once this guy gets down to the end, I'll turn him around and get him on the field to the spot to his left. Welcome in, everyone. We are doing different setups for an introduction for my Loma Montana series. Tons of different equipment, doing widely different tasks. Everything from plowing, spraying, swathing, harvesting, to baling and tillage work. Pretty good chance to try out some pretty cool machines I haven't been able to use in my 2,000 hours of playing this game. I've been able to use them, I shouldn't say that. Machines I haven't been able to purchase. How do I say that? Purchase the right way, I guess. Legitimately start from scratch, work my way up in the farm until I'm running this size of machinery. I've always just bought them or leased them to be able to use them because they're cool, which is fine. Totally fine. I think I'm going to do the swathing on this field as well. We'll see. I don't know, actually. Yeah, so this guy is going to come down and finish this strip, and then he started on the next strip. That's fantastic. Let's get back in this. I'll just pull it off the field. Well, let's whip it around, actually, if we got the clearance. Because we're going to be going this direction on the field for the shot. Park that. Just a minute. Once the back wheels are clear of that seeder. Okay. And I'll run and get in the 715. Lovely plateaus off in the distance, eh? I love this map. Maybe a little bare at times. Kind of dull, but not terrible. How's everybody doing? How's the Thursday gone? Let's get this cruise down to about 7, because this feels way too fast. Apologies for all the rumblings. My phone's sitting on my computer. Someone is texting me. Just kidding. All good. So this is a 100-foot wide cedar, which is quite wide. I'm gonna move my phone because it's being annoying. Yeah, this thing is huge. I think we could properly say it's huge-mongous. And I'm sure it would weigh many, many tons, fully loaded in the field. But we're using a beast of a tractor to pull it, so we're chilling. Let me just make sure we're planting the same crop. Yes, canola on both. Fantastic. So from above, it doesn't look much wider than the 75-footer, or maybe it's an 80-footer, I don't know. I guess it's not, it's only like a third larger, but yeah, it's not a huge difference. They're both massive machines and really only need them on a map like this, where the fields are quite large. Even this map is a little small for this piece of kit. But if you own many, many fields on it, I guess you could get away with justifying the use of this. And here's where we see the benefit of doing the perimeter lap with the smaller one first. The bigger one has to turn much wider, so it's nice to already have some stuff done. I could just overlap on it instead of having to put my skills to the ultimate test to make sure I follow the boundaries of the field like I did the first time. Probably worth the rewind if you missed that, because it was pretty epic. I don't know how long ago it was, but I was narrowly missing that fence where the field is right up next to it, threading the needle perfectly. It was beautiful, just beautiful. I'm just playing. Realistically, this field would take like only 30 minutes to do with this cedar. Probably, I don't know, maybe I'm a little underestimating, but 30 minutes for a field is too fast. Even for this game, like that would feel crazy fast. I'm fine spending a couple hours on a field. Anything like getting close to 3, 4, 5 hours on a field feels like too much. Which is what I did on the first episode of this series. I spent 10 hours and got one field done and one field half done. So that's a lot of time on a field, and I was kind of done with that. So I've got to change things up a little bit. I'll tell you what I'm thinking of doing. Normally what I've been doing is just set my time to a really slow speed so it doesn't really progress. So essentially I just record until I finish the task. Whether it takes 30 minutes or 4 hours, like, the time still stays the same. But now I think what I'm going to do, because the problem with that is on a map with fields this large, let me empty my harvesters while I talk. On a map with fields this large, it takes too long to do a harvest. Like, if I harvest all my fields at once, we could be looking at 10 to 15 hours of gameplay. I harvested 2 of my 4 fields, and it took me 10 hours. So, if you do the math, that's 20 hours for one episode if I were to do one episode for all of Harvest, which is a bit ambitious. That would take me like 2 weeks. Because I already work a full-time job. I can't just come home and record all night, 5 hours a night. Like, that just doesn't work. Doesn't work out. So what I'm toying with doing is setting my time, my speed for the time at like 3 or 4 times speed, and just working in the fields from like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. or something like that. And just every day is a video. So if it's 4 times speed and I'm working for 12 hours in game, that's 3 hours in real life. I can do 3 hours for a video. That's totally fine. So whatever, every episode I just wake up, do the chores, refill the tractors with fuel, whatever, in the morning, and then hit the field work, do an episode that way, and then whenever it's like 4 p.m., 6 p.m., or if the task gets done earlier, then I can just stop then, and that's fine. But that way I'm guaranteeing a maximum time per episode, if you will. And I can always, like, on the back end, just splice videos together to make super long cuts if you want to see the whole harvest in one video. It takes 4 episodes, say. I can just splice all 4 of them together after I put them out to make a super cut or a long form video, megasode, whatever you want to call it. But that way, like, things wouldn't get blown out of proportion. Like, because on that episode I did, episode 1 of this series, it took 10 hours. There was one time where I literally didn't record for 4 hours, like, because I felt like it would get repetitive if I kept doing the same thing. I think I did a time lapse, and then I did a montage, cinematic montage of me doing whatever. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna just sit here and do the same thing I just showed you all for another couple hours, so I'll just watch a movie and do it and then catch back up with you later, whatever. Like, 2 hours is crazy. Like, that could have been a whole episode that I recorded in that time on a smaller map. So I don't have the time for that, number one. To just blow 2 hours on a jump cut, like, that's crazy. Secondly, like, I feel like you guys don't get to experience it as much, so it would be cool. Plus, I can't even play 2 hours straight in a night most times, so, like, if it's a 2 hour jump cut, like, it'll be across multiple days. I'll forget what the heck I was talking about before it, so it's kind of just get a disconnect that way. The video doesn't flow as smoothly, it's not great. So I'm going to try something a little differently, and we'll see how it goes. I think I'm looking quite forward to it. It's an interesting way, a different way of recording. I haven't done that yet, and I need to change up. I'm trying to get into my flow and find my groove before FS25 comes out in November, so I can, roll right into it and stay strong. Like, I've wanted to buy the next Farming Simulator game right when it comes out for a while now. So, yeah, that should be cool. But I just want to, as I said, find my groove so I can maybe carry a little bit of momentum in my own mind and on the channel. Have some people interested in watching, and then, because viewership for a new game is always going to be better. Like, the view counts when this game was new were quite a bit different than now, 3 years later, so I hope it'll pick up again, the interest in the game, the interest in watching videos and series and whatnot, so hopefully I'll get a little bit of that love. Not that that's why I do the videos. I mean, I enjoy making art, and if you don't feel like this is art, then I understand. I like to think it's a little artsy fartsy. Plus, I like farming, so that's another reason to do it. I can't farm in real life, it's really expensive, and I don't have time for it, so for now I farm virtually. That's a cool shot. We may have to do that with, like, a planter off in the background to the left, the other one. That's cool. I've discovered today I really like ground level shots, a little offset, once working in a field. There's been multiple times I've been doing that, just messing around, and I'm like, oh, I like that. It's just good. Getting close to being able to record the cinematic clip. It's not cinematic yet. I'm going to make it cinematic later. That's the stuff you guys don't get to see, unfortunately. I wonder how that would go over. Live streaming while you edit a video instead of while you record it. I feel like editing is rather monotonous and dull if you're not doing it. Even when you're doing it, it can be. Plus, I don't think I could show editing. Well, I could probably figure it out, I guess. I was just thinking, like, technically that'd be difficult to make it work, but if yeah, I could figure it out. Okay, we've got just the one back side of the field to tidy up. And then we'll hop on in the Fent and get that going on a worker, whatever angle it wants to choose that works best for us. I do need to clear my harvesters again, it would appear. Because I don't need the grain. I just need the straw on the field so I can pick it up with my baler later on. This is not part of a series, if you're wondering why I don't need the grain. This is just to record a introduction, little intro B-roll for my video. I guess the title says making an epic intro or something like that, so that should be fairly clear, I hope. I wonder what angle it's going to take when I get the worker on it. They don't always work nicely, but I think this field is set up in a pretty good heading so that the worker's angles, because it only has like, obviously it'll go perfectly vertical or 90 degrees. It'll go perfectly horizontally or 0 degrees. And then it'll also do, I think it's got like, what would that be, 30, I think it's got 30 degrees of rotation, so it'll do, let me see if I can show this on a map. It'll do 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees, etc., etc. So it's got, what would that be? Be 16 or 15 or something? Different angles it can take. I could be wrong. And I could have not explained that very well at all, I'm not sure. But all that to say, you can't just point it in a direction, hire a worker, and it goes exactly the way you're facing. Sometimes they turn a little bit to pick up their own heading. So I'm hoping it'll fit pretty nicely to the shape of the field. And I'll have the Fent on a worker while I just drive this thing behind it, maybe? In front of it? I feel like in front of it would look better, but behind it would work better. If I'm in front of the worker, then I have to be going straight, so the worker doesn't overlap my stuff and it looks bad. But I think the actual shot would look better that way. But if the worker's going first, I can just follow its lead. It'll pick the right direction, so I can just try and stay parallel with it. Unfortunately, then I have to, like, try and zoom out enough to catch the worker on my right or on my left with my equipment in the background, so I suppose I could just hire them both on workers. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I'll just hire them both on workers, sit in the tractor in the front, and record a shot like this, or something, with the other tractor off to the side. That might look fine. The main thing is I just want to record multiple clips of each thing I'm doing. I've got a list here of different tasks I want to do. I want to record multiple different shots at different angles, different speeds of rotation, some moving, some still shots, whatever. Just so I can pick and choose when I'm actually editing to make it try and flow together nicely. If you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about with all the cinematic nonsense, just watch the episode, hopefully, here in a few days. It's already edited and ready to go. I just have to put the introduction in. I have to edit the intro that I'm recording right now and put it in there. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping I can put it out in a few days. But I'm not sure. Anyways, just watch that video. There will be multiple montages in it. One right at the beginning so you can kind of see the before and after. If you're catching it now, you're seeing behind the scenes what it looks like to set up the shots, how long it takes me sometimes to set up thumbnails and whatever else. Let's see how much I've invested into this map already. Time played, 3 hours and 20 minutes, and I have one thing crossed out on my list out of 9. So, yeah. It might take me 5+ hours, probably more, just to get this introduction done, and it's, as I said, a 30-second clip in a video. Why do I do this to myself? Evidently, I like pain. Regardless, we are moments away from something mildly exciting, as I've been doing something... I mean, I like planting. This is exciting to me. And maybe the actual shooting of the cinematic shots are the dull parts, and the setup and just talking and chatting is the cool parts for you guys. I'm not sure. I could be going much faster than this. I just don't like to. But I'll do it just to show that I can. I feel like 11 miles an hour is way too fast. Man, it does something to a map to see mountains and rolling hills and stuff in the background. It just makes it look so much more epic. I've been playing on Hubbard, Nebraska, and it's the same way. You can see fields for miles on end because it's a 16x map. It's huge. And it's just so cool and immersive to see that. It makes it look... Just even snapping a screenshot and looking at it later, like it's cool. They just look awesome. Okay. Let's shut that off. Gosh dang it. I have a ton of machinery, and they're not all right next to each other in the tab order, so I kind of have to bounce around. Okay, let's get this thing somewhere and see which angle the worker wants to take. Ooh, actually, no, I want to have the quad track in front. Okay, you're done. So let's go over here. Sorry, I get distracted too easily. Doesn't help that there's tons going on. But yeah, I'd say I don't need to harvest this whole field. Obviously, I've harvested a majority of it, but I don't need to harvest the whole field because I want a swath in it as well, I believe. Well, I probably will swath. Yeah, see, there's an angle. I want it to be straight up and down, but it wanted to take an angle. There we go. Okay. Okay, here we are. See if we can't get this thing on a good angle for a worker. I'll probably put it towards the middle of the field just so if it sets off at a different angle, it's still going to be able to go for a ways before it hits the edge of the field. I'm going to want a fair bit of time to record this one. So that's straight up and down. I'm going to want the harsher of the two angles it can do, so probably whatever that would be. I don't know which angle degree it would be. Let's just set it up looking towards the edge of the field and then higher it and see where it goes. Oh, that's pretty good. I thought it would be. I'm glad it was. Problem is, I believe... Hang on, let me empty this guy out. The problem is, I believe... I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, let me check the way the sun is shining down. No, that one's good. Okay, sweet. So, I'll just fire you. No, I'll rehire you, but I'll have your cruise control going like 1 mile an hour. So you keep going straight while I get this fent lined up. And I think I'm going to want it off to the left of the quad track. We'll see which one looks better. This feels incredibly unsafe. 27 with all this junk on here. Yeah, we'll set it up that way. And I want these to be close enough. They're both in the shot, but I don't want them to be too close that it looks weird. Try not to turn too sharply. That was probably a bit sharp. I don't want too much overlap either. Okay, that's pretty good. Put your cruise up to 7. But I gotta slow it down a bit because I want that vent to catch up a little bit. Something like that might be fine. And we'll come up and left so we can see them both. Okay. I like this. Let's hide my HUD. Turn on the recording. Let's try and make this work. Okay, that's not bad for a first shot. I'll try and get like a still shot here. I don't know if still shots are going to make it in because they just don't look as good for an intro, I don't think. I could try like a gradual zoom out. I don't think I'll make a zoom in. I can try from the fence perspective. It's like a spin around. Something like that. Could start up and then work down. That's too fast. That's still too fast. There we go. Okay. I'm going to cross off seating, because that's surely enough shots to make that one done, and then, as I've just spent... Let me stop the recording here. Just spent, like, 30 minutes getting that... Whoops. Just spent 30 minutes setting that up, and then I'm just going to turn them off and stop it. Okay... What do I want to do next? High-speed disking? Let me... no. Sorry. I'm a little frazzled. Let's do the... Let's pull this harvester off, because I don't want them to hit each other, and they only have one more pass anyways. Okay. Alright, fantastic. And then I'll just empty this thing as it runs. I don't need these anymore, but I think I'm going to line up all my equipment somewhere and try and get like a walk-by shot. That might be kind of cool, but I don't think that would look good for an intro. Because I'm not using this specific equipment on my playthrough. I want to. These are things I want to eventually work towards. I feel like that would kind of be cool. But yeah, I'm just shooting cool shots, playing with some cool equipment, and hopefully it looks all right. I will probably just leave this thing here because I don't really want to drive it all the way to where the other one is. I feel like it would look better if the ground was like a darker brown for the, I mean, like that's just this area, I believe. I mean, that's just what the map maker decided to do, which is fine. I'm sure he put it in there because Montana has more gray soil, but for the terms of like recording, it looks a little dull having the grayer color. I'll just park this thing by the combine as well. That one's almost done, so let's see about... Where are my swathers? They're right here. Okay, it's gonna take too long to drive them all the way down there, so I'm just gonna call it fine. I'll record the high-speed disking. Okay, let's do baling next. I kind of want to use this thing, so let's do baling next, and let's set the cruise at like 15. Let's make some big bales. I don't want to stop super often. Fire them up. Set her down. This thing is probably a lot easier to control and finesse with a steering wheel. I do have one, but I don't have it set up right now. Yeah, I haven't used this thing in a while. It's showing. So I'm just gonna bail for many hours, I'm sure. I might have to get a mod that makes you stop. Let me turn on automatic drop. Whoops. Okay, you're done. Let's empty you out. Yeah, it'll look good having a bunch of bales out on the field and then shooting some shots of the machine actually baling. We'll try it out. I may have to reset all this equipment to the shop just so it's out of the way for the actual shots. Come on, where are you? There we are. Pretty cool machine. These things are made 20 minutes from where I used to live, which is neat. They may be made in other places as well, but I've seen them being shipped from the factory brand new, which is cool. They look amazing. There's nothing like them. This company's pretty neat too, and I think it was 1972. Mr. Gary Vermeer, who founded Vermeer, put out the first modern round baler, and what would that be, 50 years later, it looks very similar to what it looked like back then. Obviously, the technology has improved, but yeah. Many companies have their own renditions of the round baler, but Gary Vermeer was the first. And almost 50 years later, they started working on this piece of machinery. It's the first self-propelled round baler from the factory. I'm sure there's custom projects that people have done before, just like I'm sure the round baler was. Um, Maybe not. Maybe this is a true one of one. But yeah, nearly 50 years after Gary Vermeer changed the game of baling in agriculture, his company, I'm not sure if he's still around or if he's still in charge or whatever, but his company came out with another first, which is pretty neat. I'm all about innovation and invention. Plus, it's also cool that, like, this company's world headquarters, I used to visit. Like, I've toured their facilities. I've driven by the lot and seen these things parked outside. Like, that's just... it's surreal to see them in the game and in real life. And obviously you can see tractors on the roads wherever, but this is kind of different, I guess, because it's kind of a big deal. It'd be like if John Deere, like if you lived or went regularly to the world headquarters for John Deere, or wherever they're, what is it, Moline in Illinois? Is that where it is, where they build their harvesters? Like, you tour the facility, see them making the harvester, and then you just see it in the game. It's like, oh, that's cool. I've seen that thing torn apart as they're building it together. Like, that's neat. Or like, I don't know, maybe a cool sugarcane harvester you saw being demoed way back in the day when it was brand new, and now you can play it in the game. That's kind of cool. That's kind of where I'm at with this thing. I don't know which shots would look good with this one. I think that's an option. Obviously, usually it looks cool to watch them drop a bale, but that's hard to do because you have to like have it lined up like really full and then get in the angle you want to be at. Did I ever stop the recording, by the way? Yeah, okay. You want to be like at the angle you want to record the clip at and then just roll forward until it's full. And then just watch that there. But it's hard to make that like cinematic. Like that's just a still shot. You want there to be some movement of some sort, but it's really hard to line all that stuff up together and make it all work together. Pretty neat piece of machinery, this one. Oh no. I looked down and the bale was coming out when I looked up. This is quite difficult to control with a controller. At this high of speed, I guess. Probably slow it down. That's alright. This is probably going to be the most time-intensive thing, because I think it'd be cool for my shot that I take for there to be a bunch of bales out on the field. And the only way I can think of doing that is just baling most of the field and then getting to it. So I'll probably do some baling and then get tired of it and do other stuff, because I still have a lot of stuff to do. I need to do some planting, some deep tillage, some high-speed disking. I want to do some swathing, some spraying, etc. So, you know, there's plenty of things we can still divvy up and do. It's not like I just have to grind this out and do it all in one go. But I have really been enjoying baling lately, so who knows. But we're about out of time for this one, so I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Stay tuned. I might do another one tomorrow or Saturday or something. Hopefully we can get this trailer done, or introduction done, so I can put out that video that I've been sitting on for a few weeks. And I feel like recording more, so I will be jumping into doing that whenever that episode comes out. Guess I could... it doesn't feel right recording episode 2 before I've even finished the intro, right? So we'll see how the first episode does. Hopefully it does well. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one. Stay tuned. In the next few days we may have probably the highest effort video that I've ever done coming out in the next week. Definitely, I hope. Fingers crossed. So stay tuned for that. It should be pretty cool. I think it's about 25 minutes long, so it's not super long. But I digress. I'll have a look at these cinematic shots we took today, and hopefully they'll all work out, and we can finish this thing up tomorrow, or Saturday, or whenever. Okay, that's enough talking. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by. Peace. And as has been the norm, I'm gonna have an awkward bit where I jump over to actually turn it off because I can't do it from the game. Peace.